Hi guys, we are now in North Iceland. We've been touring here for the past 2 days. We are now at Stuðlafoss, as you can see here. And well, Stuðlafoss hasn't given us a lot of love. Today at least it's snowing. It's been snowing for the past 2 days. Nothing heavy, but still kind of annoying. And well, my problem with, for example, Stuðlafoss now is there's no service. You know, let me explain. Stuðlafoss East, on the other side, it's much nicer to photograph, but they don't clear the road, and so it's closed. And also here on the west side, if you go down there, it's a little nicer than this exact spot here. But that's closed because of stuff. I don't even know why. They either close it in the winter because of snow and ice, but there's no snow and ice now. It's clear, basically, just the fresh snow little bit we had today. And so we are left with this view. This is the only view we got, and you know, it's fine. It's a nice view to see the waterfall, but it isn't exactly a photography spot, not a good one at least. It's okay, you know, but we want the good stuff. So, what can you do? You just deal with it, you shoot, and we move on. And tonight, after this, as a matter of fact, we are going to East, driving about 2 hours to our hotel in East Iceland, where we will continue this, well, waterfall tour. This guy is my client, one guy. He's really into waterfalls, and he has a list of priorities he wants to visit, and that's basically what I'm doing. I'm showing him waterfalls. So, as I talked about in the last video, I mentioned shutter speed a little bit. What speed I use when I'm shooting water. So I'm gonna go a little further with that in this video, a little deeper, using all the water I've been shooting so far and the water I'll be shooting in the East tomorrow. We are now at Stuðlagil Canyon, which is truly an amazing sight. You see it here? It's a beautiful thing. It has these basalt columns and this turquoise water. It's an amazing thing. I hope you can hear me. I tried to move out. It's pretty windy, but I think I have, you know, somewhat of a cover here. Let me see. I don't want to fall in though. You know, maybe here. Maybe this is better. Yeah, it's an amazing spot. And the thing is, there are two sides of this canyon. This is the east side. This is the side you want to be at. You can see over there, there's a viewing platform over there. That's the west side. Not cool, you know. It's you can't get this view from there. See inside the canyon. You want to be on this side. It's if you look it up online on YouTube, there are a lot of, well, old information on how to get there. You see, there is a waterfall, beautiful waterfall called Stuðlafoss. You can see it here. And if you put this waterfall in your GPS, it will lead you like 10-20 meters from this waterfall. It's a relatively new road. Before you couldn't get that close. You had to walk like 2 kilometers to get to this waterfall, but now you can drive basically up to it, and then you only have like 2 kilometers or something to walk to the canyon, and it's easy. It's path almost all the way. They are finishing the rest of the path. So and it's very easy to figure out. You just walk for on the road for about half an hour or so, and you're here. Just to give you an idea, the distance. The parking lot. You drive down this road. You park here, and over there, like 50 meters away, is the waterfall, Stuðlafoss. And if you continue on this path about 2 kilometers, it takes about half an hour. You know, it's impossible to get lost. You know, it would take a blizzard to get lost. You know, if you don't see anything, you might get lost. And also, if you get lost, you might not be like an outdoorsy person, so get somebody to go with you. But don't skip the waterfall. The waterfall is really pretty. It's also a basalt column. Sometimes there's not a lot of water in it. When we got there, it was very pretty. And for me, the whole thing is it's okay, but it's more about details, more about zooming into the water, zooming into the basalt columns, and getting some abstract, some details. And that is also here. If you zoom into this basalt columns here and the turquoise water, it's pretty cool. There is the Instagram photo. You know the Instagram people, the crazy idiots. Sometimes they want to go down there. Do what you want, but be advised, this can be very slippery. And it doesn't look like much, but if you fall into this river, well, it's gonna be challenging to get out because there's a cliff wall everywhere. So just be careful, use your head, and you'll be fine. I mean, just look at those columns. This is absolutely massive, and here on the end of the path here is a little wet. It's a wetland, so make sure you have decent shoes, and just be careful not to fall. But look at those. This is so amazing. This is so pretty. Look at this. I mean the shots and the texture, the stuff you can get here. I would recommend. It's a whole day thing. You can spend a whole day here. So in the last video, where I talked also about speed, if you haven't seen that video, the link is down in the description. So I was talking about like very basic speed setting. It's just like if you see a running water, like a waterfall, like this waterfall here, how do you like it? Do you like it frozen? Do you like it very soft and silky, or do you want to go somewhere in between? But there are some, because we are using digital cameras, most of us, so there are other options which some people use a lot. I've used it, but for example, let's take this waterfall as an example. It is Stuðlafoss, and the most common photo I see from this waterfall is this one. Very soft, very silky. It's a cool photo. It's popular for a reason. But although I like the river, it's cool how it moves. The waterfall, in that speed we need for that water surface, the waterfall becomes kind of washed out. So what people are doing with that is they are doing multiple speeds and then I'm stacking their speed. I think they're calling it speed stacking or something like that. It's just the just a composite, you know, but it's a speed stacking is a fancier name for it. But like here I didn't touch the water. The water is still at a relatively high speed, but the water surface or the river is along shutter. And then people like to mix this together, and you know, I sometimes I like it. Sometimes it's very nice, but sometimes it feels it looks very photoshopped. Very often it looks very photoshopped, but that's fine. Another thing you can do with speed is go from a slow shutter speed to like a long exposure. Then I'm talking much longer than a part of a second or second. Like for example, this photo, this is 30 seconds. And the reason why I did 30 seconds here is, well, we came there and we wanted to go to the beach and get the sand ripples and the sea stack in the background. It's a cool shot, but it wasn't like that at that time, so we had to do other things. And also we had a little bit of wind, which made the sea, you know, not choppy enough to be interesting, but not smooth enough to be interesting. So what I did, well, I had a polarizer and I also put a 10-stop filter. So I had about 11.5 stops to stop down the ocean, which gave me about 30 seconds. And this is a 30-second exposure. But the thing is with long exposure like this, when I first discovered long exposure, everything was long exposure. The longer the better. I went minutes, and I kind of came away from that now. As you will see, for example, at the earlier photo we talked about at Stuðlafoss. This is a photo I showed you before. And here's another photo I took just with a fast shutter speed. And I'm thinking, in this case, this is a powerful waterfall, and you're showing that power, and it's just, yeah, it's an impact, you know, with a soft waterfall with a long exposure. You do not create that impact, you create a pretty photo. With faster shutter speed, the power show, the raw power shows the impact. And so don't use long shutter speed just because it's there. Use it to, you know, back up your story. What is your message? What are you trying to say? You know, are you trying to say power? Then, and if so, faster shutter is probably a better deal for you. So that's it for this video. I'm already at the south coast of Iceland. This is Hjörleifshöfði. Wouldn't be considered your typical photography spot, but it's a very nice spot, and we're just doing something, you know, with the midday light. It has a nice cave. You know, this rock is beautiful. We're located on the black sand beach. You know, there's the ocean. There's a lot to shoot here, actually, if you keep your mind open. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I see you next time.